You want to go into freelancing or you want to go into tech and you're wondering how can you manage time and how can you work with multiple clients and be able to beat time. If you're in that category of persons that is wondering how you can do all of this, stay with me. Let's crack it up. Okay, so if you're a freelancer, I mean, you will know that working with multiple clients is a big deal because that is where all the money comes from. Because, I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? So, and it can be challenging when you have clients that are involved in different products or services. Taking for an example, I work for three clients or three clients. Yeah, that's the English. So two of them I work with them as a social media manager, and the other clients I work with them as a data analyst. Okay, so and I also work as a 9 to 5 girlie. I mean, like, how do I do it? Well, of course, yeah, I do it. So what I do is for each of these clients, I have a schedule. I have times allocated to each of these clients. Okay, so I will be discussing all of the things that I do to make me stay afloat, to make me, I mean, deliver as expected. And in most cases, more than as expected. Okay, so stay with me. Let's talk about it. So the first thing I do is calendar management. Very, very key. Calendar management is something that I don't know how a freelancer would work without knowing or having the skills of calendar management. And for this skill, I use or for this to manage this, I use Notion AI and I also use Google Calendar. But I think I actually do use more of Notion app because it gives me a whole lot of more options. I get to do a lot of things on my own. I get to, pattern things the way I want it to be. Okay, I think whatever Notion app works for me better. Okay, so I am not recommending, but I know if you use Notion app or you use Notion AI, you would attest to what I am saying here. Okay, so and the second thing on the list is I always make sure I have a master to do list for each of my clients. Okay, so how this help me manage these clients is having a master to do list each day or for each day for each activity helps you stay afloat, helps you stay in line with what you need to do at a particular time. So you don't end up switching role. I mean, that is very it could be very embarrassing. Switching role on clients. You don't want to do that. Okay, so and to do my master list plan, my master to do plan, I use monday.com. Monday.com is very, very user friendly and it's actually a tool that you can bring in your every of your team members in the or in your to-do list in your master plan on monday.com because it gives you that access, it gives you that interface, and everybody have access to what you need to do next, how whatever you have in plan or whatever thing you need to do next. So that actually helps manage time because at this point your clients will not need to be checking up on you to ask what are you doing, what are you have you done this, have you done that, because of course they are looking at what your master list is. They're looking at what you're doing next, and they know that you've done this at this particular time. You're going to be doing that. Okay, and for someone that is very key to timing, for someone like me that I don't play with my timing. Once I have allocated that I'm going to be working with this client for from 12 to 1 or from 1 to 3, whatever time it is, I make sure I stick to it just so I don't switch roles because it can be embarrassing. You can imagine yourself as a social media manager and then your client is asking you, oh, what's up? What's our audience like? What is the improvement in our audience? And all of that. And then boom, you're talking about a construction. Okay, take this for an example. You work for a company that is into beauty products, like a beauty brand, right? And then the other client is into construction company or construction product, construction machine, whatever it is, right? And then you're talking to your clients that is into beauty products, and then all of a sudden you're talking about construction machine. Do you get? And they'll be like, I mean, we don't deal on construction products. What are you talking about? And then, oh, sorry, it's not what I'm talking about. You can see how embarrassing it is. Please do not do that. So you have to be very, very articulated with your timing. Allocate time for each of these clients, just so you don't switch up rules on each of them or on either of them. Okay. I swear you don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. You don't want to, you don't want that embarrassment for your village people. Trust me. So the third on our list is know how to automate repeated stuff. Knowing how to automate repeated stuff is very simple. Okay, I use templates. I use templates. I use templates most of the time because I mean, if I am responding to a particular client or if I'm responding to my to if I'm responding to queries or I'm responding to inquiries, I'm responding to whatever it is, you can tell that for a beauty product, right? Likely questions is going to be, does this work for a dark skinned person? Does this work for a light skinned person? So you can tell that if you answered A with, oh yes, it works with a dark skinned person, you can answer B with that same template. Yes, it works with a light skinned person, because you'll not be getting one inquiry in that category just once. You will likely be getting, I mean, like a lot of them, right? So you'd have to know how to automate your repeated stuff, questions, inquiries, respond to them, with your templates. That way it saves you time, saves you plenty of times. Okay. The fourth on the list is set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries does not mean you have to tell your client that, oh, I have closed for the day, oh, I'm not working again for you today. I mean, you don't want to do that, please. Setting clear boundaries just means that when you have a time allocated for each client, you're working with a particular time. Okay, for you that is handling multiple clients, I'm talking to you particularly, right? You have allocated time for client A. You have allocated time for client B. You have allocated time for client C. I'm using three clients for an example because I work with three clients and that is how I've been doing it. Okay. So you have time allocated to each of these clients, right? So take for an example, I do 2 hours to check up on each of these clients. 2 hours, like say 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. If I need to do anything on each of these the two clients that I work on the social media platform, yeah. If I need to do anything on the social media platform, that those 2 hours is enough for me to do, check up on my whatever I have posted, or if they are doing fine, if there's any need for an adjustment, because most of the time they are actually scheduled posts, right? So you need to make sure that there was no error at the course of at the point of scheduling this post, right? So once you've confirmed your post was made, once you've confirmed content was well posted, you can then go ahead to switch to another client, do the same thing, then you get repeat same process for each of these clients, and then whatever extra time you have is to summarize your activities for each of these clients. That way, you know that you're not going to client A. You then from client A you switch to client B. From client B you switch to client C. If you do not switch room, let me bend. But that's not why we are here. We are here to make sure you don't switch that room. And then the fifth on our list is do your daily check-ins. Okay, do your daily check-in. Your daily check-in or your morning check-in, whatever you want to call it, do your daily check-ins. Just do your check-in. Okay, make sure that you confirm. Is there any of these clients I need to give updates? Is there any of these clients that I need to get any information or that I need to get an information from? You ask yourself, what are my top priorities for each of these clients each day? Then is there any of these clients that I need to get updates or that I need to get updates from? Then the other thing is to make sure you look through the loop to confirm that you're not missing anything. Okay, there are much more things you can actually checking on. Okay, once you've confirmed that, oh, your check-ins are well ticked, you confirm that, oh, okay, I don't have any clients I'm checking on, I don't have any clients expecting anything from me, I have confirmed that nothing is slipping through our content or whatever, or your reports, whatever thing it is you're doing for these clients, then you've confirmed that everything is fine, you're good to go. Like for me, like I said before, I actually work as a 9 to 5 girlie. Okay, I work as a 9 to 5 girl lead. So it means I wake up every single day, I'm going to work. So once I'm going to work, I make sure that Once I wake up in the morning, as I'm preparing, getting myself set for work, I am doing my checking. I am confirming. I am okay. So this are this and this and this is what I this and this or whatever is what I need to do. Once I have confirmed all of these things, because most of the time I can actually use my phone while I'm working, while I'm doing some certain things. So once I've gotten to, I already know what I need to do. I have like an hour or two to set things right, put things right for each of these my clients, right? Once I've done my check-ins, confirmed, ticked everything, and then I've resumed work. Once I've resumed work, give me like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., everything I've settled in. So I can in between check, you get, I can allocate my timings. My English is not Englishing anymore. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you need to make sure you are checking in on each of your clients every day. So you don't pay attention in one particular client and then you leave the other ones behind. So you don't overcrowd one client and then you give less to the other ones. Okay. So you have to do your daily check-ins, making sure that nobody is missing out on anything. That will help both you and your clients to stay on a minimal, to understand each other, and you would have a good review at the end of the day, because that's what matters, having good reviews. Okay. And our final tip, not the last, but let's call it the final tip. Okay. Our final tip is, please do not aim for perfection. Don't aim for perfection. We are still trying to make sure that you don't leave any of your clients behind, or they don't leave you behind. And we are also still trying to make sure that you stay afloat. You don't overcrowd your brain. I don't know how all of us, our brain functions differently, but for me to work with my brain intact, everything is intact. Okay. I don't rush myself. I make sure I don't rush myself. I don't rush anybody. You don't rush me. Okay. That is why I make sure that, just tell me what I need to do. Tell me what I have to do. Let me have an idea of what you expect from me. Once I have that idea, I will not be waiting for you to tell me, Chama, do this, do that, because I want to do it on time. I want to make sure I deliver it on time. So once I've delivered, you're not stressing me, I am not stressing you. Okay? That is my logo. Don't stress me, I don't stress you. Okay. So once I know what you want me to do, I know how you want me to get it done. I have a picture of what you're expecting. Most of the time, my clients will be like, "How did you know I wanted you to do this?" Of course, I know you want me to do it because you've told me that you have this in your mind. Okay. So I make sure I go ahead of you to bring up this result. Okay. So our final tip, let's not let it slide, is, please do not aim for perfection for each of these clients. Perfection is fine. I'm not saying it should not be perfect, but let it not be your top priority. Your top priorities should be having your task or your project done, delivering this project, and then delivering a very clear and understandable result or report, whatever it is. Key three things: done, deliver, clear. Deliver your results. I mean, have your results, have your task done, deliver it to the appropriate unit, and then make sure it is a clear report you delivered. Then if you now add perfection to these three key things, I mean, that stands you out. Ticket. That stands you out. If you add perfection to these three things I mentioned, stands you out, because every other person will be doing the bare minimum. But of course, you gave the expected, and then you went above to give perfection. But then when you're pursuing perfection more than any other thing, you get I don't know, you get um what's the English? Good. When you're aiming for perfection, when you're aiming for perfection, other than having your results delivered on time and a clear report, what happens most of the time is that you get to skip the part. You get to skip the process. You get to skip a lot of things. Okay, and that might actually be a stumbling block at the end of the day, that you might even end up not getting the perfection and not getting your expected results. But taking it a bit at a time will give you everything you are actually expected to do. So let's not forget the key tips we shared on this video. You need to know calendar management. I shared the tools you can use in this Google Calendar or Notion AI. And then I also talked about having a master to-do list. And for this skill, I mentioned I use monday.com for your to-do list and bringing in your team members, communicating with your team. But do not forget that most of these employees or clients actually have other communication platforms they use. Okay, so whatever it is that they use, fine, you can use that. But for me, I always use monday.com as a plus because it helps me personally in delivering on my rules for each of these clients. It helps me manage multiple clients actually because you can create multiple accounts or multiple profile as the case may be on your account for each of these clients. Does that make any sense? I think it does. So the third thing on our list is know when and how to automate your repeated stuff. I'm saying stuff because it can be response, it can be inquiry, it can be anything. So know when to automate and how to automate your stuff. I used templates as an example. Keep and save your templates so it saves you time. You manage your time using that process. So once you just go to clients, hey, oh, this is what I'm doing there. You have your templates for what you need to do there. You use that template to respond to do whatever you have to do. Okay, that is it. And then if you understand what templates does for you, you should know that templates works very well. Keep your templates intact, especially the most used ones. Keep it intact, okay? So the fourth on the list is I said set clear boundaries for each of these clients. But do not forget I said don't go and tell your clients that their time with you is over. Just know how to manage and schedule their timings. It actually gets to the point where some of these clients get to know that, oh, this lady works with us at so time. She's, they get used to it. You just once you've created that pattern and you do not fail, that is another thing. Do not fail. So that they'll not be expecting you to deliver by 2 o'clock and then you're coming through by 5 o'clock, by 5 p.m. You see, you're already bringing up doubts in their mind. So even if you didn't deliver, they're already thinking, Abi, wait, this one don't resign. Do you get? So make sure you deliver in time, I'll be on time, in time, on time, whatever. Make sure you deliver on time so that your clients will not need to be checking up on you by themselves to get updates on what you're doing. Set clear boundaries. And then the fifth one, I said, do your daily, morning, whatever. Do your check-in. Okay, do your check-in. Confirm each of these clients you need to make it. You need to give updates. Confirm which of them need to give you updates. Confirm your priorities with each of these clients daily, and then confirm whatever you need to confirm and tick what you've done for them or what you need to do for them for each day, each week, whatever, however you work with them. So that will help you stay afloat for each of these clients. And then the sixth one, do not forget, I said, aim for perfection, but don't make it your top priority. Your top priority is to get your results done, delivered, and clear. Then you add your perfection, you are extraordinary. Okay, do these tips, add other more tips that you think will help you stay afloat, and you will see yourself flying as a freelancer that can manage multiple clients. If you found this video very interesting, you think you have other questions, inquiries, whatever you need to ask, I am a DM away from you. However, if you loved my video and you think I am sharing things that will keep you, intact as a girly, why not click on the share button, click on the follow button, and then like my video. Thank you for watching, and bye.